What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. In fact, I'm about to hit the members with a video right after this video where I'm going to name names. I'm not going to name them publicly.
What you talking about, Willis?
But the story that I gave about the Hoover that unalived the other Hoover, I'm going to go ahead and say the names for my members. Perhaps I'm going to get a tiny goofy and porky story to my members as well. Hit the join button on my channel so that you will receive a notification every time that I drop a video. You can go and check the video out and leave a comment and like the video. If you support me, support the channel, and support my content. Support the Go Up movement, the Stay Free People movement. Let's get to part 2 of the bloody removal that happened there in Centinella State Prison on CR with 3 people, as I said, really with 3 Hoovers. And this is unfortunate because, as I said, when you transgress, everyone loses. Everyone in your car loses out because now we have to put 2 people on each one of these people. So in total, we losing 9 people off the yard. The 3 people that have to go and the 2 people that's going to be put on both of them. And it ended up being 3 because after the devil was removed from the yard, we all discussed it and said, now, Big Star, to be perfectly clear, he knows Big Stein Dog from the street. They was dogs. They both from 7-4. They grew up together. However, as I alluded to before, Big Star is really a stickler for the rules. He believes in them and does not believe in those who transgresses against the protocol, regardless of who you are. He has exhibited this all of his life. And so he made it clear to me that Stein Dog should be removed from the yard also with tools, that the offense that he committed was tool inducing, and that he needed to get hit and hit hard and off the yard. I understood that sentiment and I pretty much agreed. However, you can say that favoritism sort of came into play. Stein Dog is a reputable from the hood as well. And he didn't snitch or anything, but he's allowing the snitch to be around us the whole time knowing that the guy is a snitch. How can you allow this? Now your gangster is dubious. It's suspect and we have to question it. And that's what happens. It takes you 20 years to build your reputation and 20 seconds to lose it. I used to say in prison that it takes you 20 seconds to get in trouble and 20 years to get out of it.
Kinda good is when they threw my ass in the holding cell. I was 17, had me in the cell with rapists, killers, niggas, old cells. Just that quick, could've given my life away, one had shit. Got caught years, just that quick. Everybody asking me shit.
And that appears to be the situation with not Big Stein, but Stein Dog, where now his reputation is on the line because you are allowing someone who likes cheese to be around us and to be around you. You programming on the yard with him as well. This guy knows everything about us, where we keep our stuff at, who's getting what from the vision area, who has the money in the car, who's calling the shots in the car, because he's a part of the car. We don't know anything different at this time, but Stein Dog does. He knows that this dude is a rat. He knows that this dude was attacked in another prison for being such and hasn't said anything to anyone, has not divulged this information. Now Stein Dog has life in prison. and had been locked up for over 20 years. He wants to go home. He's made that explicitly clear, but he's still gang banging, but he wants to go home. I understand that. And so he doesn't want to get into any trouble. This is why he hasn't divulged this information, because once he brings it to the table that he knows that this dude is a rat and that he was somewhere where this dude got attacked, naturally we're going to tell him, well, get him. You don't want to know he's a rat. You saw the paperwork. Get him off the yard. He doesn't want to get him off the yard. He does, but he doesn't want to be the one to do it because he wants to go home. Again, I understand that. And so it was decided that Stein Dog would be given an opportunity to just get this dude off the yard. You know he's no good. You know he's a rat. You're in double violation. Violation for having him hang around us, and violation for having him hang around yourself and not letting us know that he's no good. You can redeem yourself, just get him off the yard. And shockingly, he essentially refused. He said, man, I'm trying to go home, man, this and that, man, just let me go home. That's what he said. Those were his words. Just let me go home. You're going to go home. But you might be missing a couple of pieces on you now, because you know the rules and the protocol. And though I want you to go home, and we all do as well, everyone in here wants to go home. We understand that the job was dangerous when we took it. You understand the rules, and you have violated these rules. And we're giving you a chance, as certain cars do, to redeem yourself. And you're opposed to that. You want to wiggle your way out of that. So we said, okay, fine. The decision was promptly made. Obviously, both of these guys have to go. Let's get Bird off the yard first. But really, it's more prudent and sagacious to get both of them off the yard simultaneously, because certainly Stein Dog is going to know once we attack Bird viciously and remove him from the yard that he's next, because we had to do it. You didn't do it. You got to know you're next. Hell, he was pretty much made aware of that if he didn't get this guy off the yard, he was going to have to be removed from the yard. And he still thought that based on his name, I suppose, and his situation, that we would be more understanding. But we only understand the rules and the protocols. And that's all we understand. And so we decided get both of these dudes off the yard at the same time, on the same day. 2 people were designated for each one of them. However, again, it was decided that no weapons would be used upon Stein Dog. This could be justified, but it can also quickly be justified if tools were used upon him for his transgressions. Really, again, his violation warranted a tool, a few tools. So he's really, once again, escaping, because we're not really following the protocols by not using a tool on him. We're really in violation. Big Star is right. This dude needs to be removed viciously for having this rat around us and not saying anything. And the fact that we're deciding not to use a tool upon Stein Dog sometimes still bothers me to this day. However, the decision was made that a tool would be used on the other guy who liked cheese. That's, of course, mandatory. But Stein Dog would escape with a decent beat down. And came out to the yard one morning, and the designated comrades took their positions. And the backup, in case they needed it, took their positions. It was all strategically planned and placed. We do have some sort of structure. And the attack, well, it transpired quickly. One approach from each side and attacked Stein Dog and Bird at the same time. The ones that attacked Bird, again, well, they had tools and were not hesitating to use them. And they got Bird on the ground, and he was crying and begging for his life. And his life was spared because, contrary to popular belief, Hoovers have hearts. And so his life was spared. But he had to leave the yard, and he did leave leaking. Stein Dog, meanwhile, as he was being pummeled upon, was screaming back, "Man, let me go home. Let me go home, man." "Yes, brother, we want you to go home. But while you are here, you must still follow the rules and the protocols. We all must. Or else." And both of them were removed from the yard that very day. And that was 3 and 2 or 3 days that had to be removed. But we also lost many homies that had to be removed, that had to leave the yard because they removed these guys. And so now we just sit on the yard, now it's 2 or 3 or 4 of us instead of 10, 11, or 12 of us. But this is the consequences when people transgress and violate against set rules and protocols that have been in place for generations. Again, your whole car suffers one way or another. Follow the rules and follow the protocols, and all of you stay out of prison, and you won't have to worry about it. Stay free, people!